Imagine a place so vast that it produces 20% of the oxygen we breathe, so dense that millions of species hide within it, and so mysterious that scientists believe most of its inhabitants have never been seen by human eyes. Welcome to the Amazon Rainforest, a green ocean of life that holds more secrets than we could ever hope to uncover. Tonight, let's wander through its shadows and discover the wonders that make this place truly extraordinary. So settle in, get comfortable, and let's begin. Let's start with sheer size, because the Amazon is almost impossible to imagine. It stretches across more than 2 million square miles and spans 9 different countries. If the Amazon were its own nation, it would be one of the largest in the world. And within this enormous expanse lives an astonishing concentration of life. Scientists estimate that the Amazon is home to roughly 10% of all known species on Earth, which means that every time you take a step through the forest, you are surrounded by an explosion of biodiversity unlike anywhere else on the planet. Here's something that might surprise you. The Amazon River is so powerful that it pushes fresh water more than 100 miles out into the Atlantic Ocean. Sailors centuries ago discovered they could dip their buckets into the sea, far from any visible land, and pull up drinkable fresh water. The river carries so much water that it accounts for nearly 1/5 of all the fresh water that flows into the world's oceans. That's more than the next 7 largest rivers combined. Now, deep within this forest hides a river unlike any other. There's a place in the Peruvian Amazon where the water actually boils. For years, it was considered nothing more than a local legend, a mythical river that could cook anything that fell into it. But scientists eventually confirmed it was real. The water reaches temperatures near boiling, hot enough to scald, and the secret lies in geothermal activity bubbling up beneath the surface, heating the river from below. It's a reminder that even today, this forest keeps surprises that defy our expectations. And speaking of surprises, did you know that the trees of the Amazon may actually communicate with one another? Beneath the soil lies a vast network of fungal threads that connect the roots of different trees, sometimes called the wood wide web. Through this hidden network, trees can share nutrients, send warning signals about insect attacks, and even support younger saplings struggling to survive in the shade. The forest, in a sense, behaves less like a collection of individual plants and more like a single living, breathing organism. The Amazon also creates its own weather. The trees release enormous amounts of moisture into the air through a process called transpiration. A single large tree can release hundreds of gallons of water into the atmosphere every single day. Multiply that by billions of trees, and you get flying rivers, invisible currents of moisture that drift through the sky and bring rainfall to regions thousands of miles away. In a very real sense, the Amazon waters not just itself, but much of South America. Let's talk about some of the remarkable creatures that call this place home. The pink river dolphin glides through the murky waters, and according to local legends, it can transform into a handsome young man at night to charm villagers. While that's folklore, the dolphins themselves are very real, and their rosy color becomes brighter when they're excited. Then there's the electric eel, which can generate jolts of up to 800 volts, enough to stun its prey, and certainly enough to knock a grown person off their feet. And gliding silently through the canopy, you might find the harpy eagle, one of the most powerful birds of prey on Earth, with talons as large as a bear's claws. Here's a fact that feels almost magical. In the depths of the rainforest, there are insects and fungi that glow in the dark. Certain mushrooms emit a soft greenish light, a phenomenon called bioluminescence, glowing quietly along the forest floor. Scientists believe this glow may help attract insects that spread the fungi spores. Imagine walking through the forest at night and seeing the ground itself shimmer with gentle living light. It's one of nature's most beautiful and least understood displays. The Amazon is also a treasure chest for medicine. An estimated 25% of all the medicines we use today have origins in rainforest plants. And yet scientists have only studied a tiny fraction of the plant species that grow there. Somewhere in the canopy, in plants no researcher has ever named, there may be cures for diseases we're still fighting today. Indigenous peoples have understood the healing power of these plants for thousands of years, holding knowledge that modern science is only beginning to appreciate. And that brings us to the people of the Amazon. The rainforest is home to hundreds of indigenous communities, and remarkably, some of them have never had contact with the outside world. These uncontacted tribes live much as their ancestors did, deep within the forest, relying entirely on the land around them. Their existence reminds us that even in our hyper-connected age, there are still corners of the planet that remain wild, untouched, and entirely their own. Now here's something truly unexpected. The Amazon rainforest gets a crucial supply of nutrients from a desert on the other side of the world. Each year, winds carry millions of tons of dust from the Sahara Desert in Africa across the entire Atlantic Ocean and deposit it over the Amazon. This dust is rich in phosphorus, a vital nutrient that the rainforest soil often lacks. So in a strange and beautiful way, the lush green Amazon depends on the dry sands of the Sahara to keep flourishing. Two of the most different places on Earth, bound together by invisible threads of wind. The forest hides ancient secrets too. For a long time, people believed the Amazon had always been pristine wilderness, untouched by human civilization. But recent discoveries have revealed the remains of vast ancient cities, complete with roads, canals, and earthworks hidden beneath the canopy. Using laser technology that can see through the trees, archaeologists have uncovered evidence that millions of people may have lived here centuries ago, shaping the very forest we see today. The Amazon, it turns out, is not just a wilderness, but also a living monument to lost civilizations. And finally, consider this. Despite all our technology, all our satellites and expeditions, scientists believe that the vast majority of life in the Amazon remains undiscovered. New species are found there almost constantly, sometimes hundreds in a single year. Frogs the size of a fingernail, fish with see-through skin, plants that no one has ever cataloged. Every expedition into the deep forest brings the possibility of finding something entirely new to science. The Amazon is, in many ways, the last great frontier of discovery on our planet. So the next time you picture the Amazon, don't just imagine a forest. Imagine a boiling river and a glowing forest floor. Imagine trees whispering to each other underground and dust drifting in from a distant desert. Imagine ancient cities buried in the green and countless creatures waiting patiently to be found. The Amazon is not just a place. It is a living, breathing mystery that continues to amaze us with every secret it reveals. If you enjoyed wandering through these hidden wonders with me tonight, consider subscribing to BetterNight for more fascinating journeys into the world's most amazing places. Sleep well, dream deeply, and we'll see you again very soon.